They're dependent upon you not saying anything.
It's intimidation. They're hoping you don't say nothing. And like I said, if you tell us, tell the Womack to do everything he can to put the piece together, but hopefully you don't have to come to court. If you tell us, what's the one with the hidden gun, it took us, the shooting, the last one, I think it's one of the cases we had the hidden gun. 6 hours later, somebody says, oh, by the way, I saw a gun.
Yeah.
We go find the dark man, try to find the gun.
And they had already called their people to go get your gun while they were down here in jail. So we got there. The guns were there, the dogs for the guns were there, but the guns weren't there because the next door neighbor said, yeah, I did see two guys come up here and they went behind the house and did in the flower pot and left, and I didn't know what they were doing. He didn't call us. You know, your neighbor went home. Why these two young boys come up in the yard, dig in the flower pot, got something out left, but you called us 6 hours, like, yeah, I did see something out over there a while ago.
Prime example, that's a gun still on the street. That's one more still on the street that we got. And like sometimes, we'd like to make charges, we'd like to get the guys who commit crimes, but on the same token, if we get that gun on the street, that's one less we got to worry about. Now, we like to put, we like to put a criminal with it, but ultimately, if we can get the drugs and the guns off the street, hey, that's a small victory. It ain't the big victory we're looking for, but it starts. Because the science nowadays, we've got other agents that help us out with the ballistics on these weapons. They're pinning these weapons together. And also you start getting guns related to other shootings. I might have you charged with this, but guess what? Thanks to ballistics, I got you on 2 more. That we had no clue you were involved in.
Now that I've got the ballistics back, we got a case in Rocky Mount that these same ballistics, same shell cases been tied to and shooting to Rocky Mount, and they have suspects. So we're like, well, he was over here shooting, he was over there shooting. Our stuff matches your stuff. All right, it's time to get him in the system.
Princeville and Rocky Mount, same guy shooting both times.
Yeah.
It took a while for the ballistics to come back, but it's not like 48 hours, it's not like CSI, it's not 48 seconds. Usually it's about 48 days to 48 weeks. It takes a while.
We have a new system that's in place that the state lab, it takes about a year or so. This place takes, we can get it, if it's a high case, like a murder that we had in Princeville, it took, what, a day?
We put a special question if it's God forbid, if it's a homicide. We say, look, we have a homicide, we got to showcase it. They'll take it right then, unless there's another homicide in front of us. Loss of life takes priority for this agency here, we're partnering with. Regular crime, 2-3 weeks, maybe 6, 8. Depends, because we're not the only party, they got other parties.
If the DA is hot on the case and say, I got this is a strong case, they'll call down and we'll get the stuff back. But like that homicide we had, it took one time to drive down and pick it up, and it did for them to match the ballistics with another homicide in Rocky Mount.
He was waiting when we walked in the door.
Yeah.
So like I said, we've got partnerships set up to get this evidence done. We'll do everything we can.
And once we have all the evidence and then we have a bunch of statements, we go, okay, this is what I got. These are all the statements I got, people willing to work, go to court. This is what I got. The lawyer says, you looking at 15, 20 years. Take a plea, you might get 9. I'm taking a plea. You gotta go to court. People that wrote me statements, you don't have to get subpoenaed. He got sent off for 9 years. You don't have to worry about going to court.
If you don't know what kind of work goes behind the scenes, 2 weeks ago, you come out with all the evidence. I walked into our deputy's room, which is 3 rows of tables. I believe he had all 3 rows covered with evidence in every case, pinpoint how they all tie together. There's a lot of stuff goes on now. Have we made an arrest on it? Still working. Whatever it takes, we're gonna get there.
And we had a matrix out. This gun was over here on this shooting. The shell casing come back to the shooting in Greenville. This shooting over here in Rocky Mount. This same gun came back to all. I mean, it's a complex situation. But we're starting to tie 1 or 2 guns or 1 or 2 people. Or this person did this. Well, he did a shooting over Rocky Mount. Okay, now this person is shooting over here. All this is starting to match. Okay, let's get these players off the street.
See, if all of this sounds complicated, it sounds like a police state, but it's not. It makes it safer because you're getting ready to go through a massive rebuild. You're gonna have people raising homes. You're gonna have people coming in. You're gonna have people that's gonna wanna buy homes here. I think someone told me after every flood, the population has increased. So you're gonna have people coming in here looking. So you need to make sure what you have is secure. We need to make sure the environment is safe. And it's good that everybody knows everybody, because if you see somebody, and I'm from South Carolina, I know exactly what you're talking about. The lady who watched me, her name was Miss Wooten. And if Miss Wooten saw you, and you had to remember, you had to crawl behind a brick fence so she wouldn't see you. But if Miss Wooten saw you, and she told you, Mama, you got it. But that's what we need. Like I said, we're gonna have the rebuild going on. It's not a police state going on. I don't think it's anything like Ferguson. But we need to make sure we keep all of our seniors safe and all of our first-time home buyers. We got first-time home buyers here. And they're gonna have people coming in and out of their homes. So you gotta have that stuff safe. So you don't wanna have your house being rebuilt and then Danny drives up there in a white truck and you just assume, but he's the contractor. But I pull up in there, say something. That's what we're trying to keep safe. Because if we're trying to keep the burglaries down, because I'm worried about when the rebuild starts, that's when the crimes are gonna start. You're gonna have people posing,
New houses.
people posing as
New
other
furniture, new TVs.
right, you get new
this, new
TV,
that.
furniture, you're gonna get the furniture in the donation center. We haven't made that call yet, we wanna make sure we have that, but once we make that call, people will be going out there getting furniture, all that stuff. So they don't just safeguard you, they safeguard the assets, which is the houses, the furniture, the roads. So this is not a police state. We're just saying we have to do this because it's a process to rebuild and be safe. When we go back in the home and make sure you're not taking advantage of it.
Once it gets fully operational, community watch-wise, you'll find it's not a police state, it's a community. You're not part of Princeville, you're in a neighborhood now. Your neighbors are looking after each other, and then you'll see less of us, because we'll come, we'll float through. To me, when the law enforcement in the community is successful, when the law enforcement drive through, the windows roll down, waving at you, waving at the kids, and they know everybody's supposed to be invited. That's the ultimate goal, is we can ride through the community, everybody goes, well, look, there's the sheriff's department, wave at us. Instead of going,
Right.
when that one guy takes that one step, that's the one we're looking for. That guy takes that first step, look, all right, he's on my radar now. Why is he high stepping for? Why is he all of a sudden going behind that bush? If he's got no reason to hide, no reason to hide. But when you start high stepping, we're gonna start looking at you.
Right.
Now, if we miss it, because sometimes we're over here looking on the left side of the street, the guy on the right side behind the bush. Hey, when y'all come through from Mexico, that guy, that guy in the second row with the yellow shirt, baby, you better watch him. If he went by, he went behind the tree. Guess what? My guy turned around again and go, where's this guy this time? And we see him. That's that guy talk to you second. Well, if you're legit, 5 minutes we'll be done with it. If he's not, then might be a 5-minute foot chase. We'll figure out what we have to do then. Whatever it is to keep your town safe is what we're willing to do. And like I said, we'll talk here, we'll come to your house, we'll come to your neighborhood. If you say, look, I'm gonna have about 4 or 5 families in my house tonight, one of us will be myself, Lieutenant Womack, one of my lieutenants, one of my captains, if need be, one of my sergeants. Whoever you know, we'll see them. We've got a pre-set of package, and we'll come talk to anybody. All they want to do is get the information out there, help us help. That's what we're after.
And community watch, it works. Tell you another story real quick. 2 weeks ago, I don't know if anybody watches the show Live PD. I watched it one Friday night, and they stopped in Calvert County, Michigan. Deputy stopped the car, smelled a lot of marijuana. Went to the car, talked to the guy, said, look, I'm gonna get you out of the car, smell some marijuana. Can I search? Got it, he just, That's a quick indication you got something in your mouth. So I took the guy, patted him down, put handcuffs on, so I'm gonna just detain you for a minute, search the car. While he was searching the car, the guy was on the hood, the front police car, had his hands behind his back. He looked back when the officer went in his car. He spit it out, spit a big white bag out of his mouth. I was like, hey. And it was his dash cam, so I said, hey. So I get on Google Calvert County, Maryland Sheriff's Department. Get on the phone, call the dispatch. Hey, y'all got a deputy out there? He said, yeah. I said, hey, tell him to go back and check. That guy just spit something out of his mouth on TV on his dash cam. I said, okay. Saturday morning, no, this was Saturday night. Sunday morning, or Sunday, they reran the show again. They said they had a mule they had 2 from North Carolina. Me and a guy from Charlotte. He tweeted. I don't have Twitter. Twitter.
Yeah.
He tweeted.
I don't tweet or tweet.
He tweeted the sheriff's department. I called him.
Yeah.
He tweeted him, and then I emailed, and they said, "Hey, we reran this show," and they went back and showed the guy spit a bag. He spit bag of cocaine out of his mouth, big bag of cocaine out of his mouth, and some marijuana. So they went back, found it where they parked, and they charged him. So community works in the 4, 5, 10 square miles of Princeville, and it works from East Tarboro all the way to Calvert County, Maryland too. So it works.
See, they can't feel safe. The community I came from, and I'm far back, was an African-American community, and it's called Green Level. And it sat right on 40, 409, 85 is the distribution. And what the cartel, it ended up being a Mexican cartel. And what they were banking on is that nobody in that community would tell on that cartel. And what happened was it was a murder in there. Some local person murdered a Latino person. But that spot was so valuable that they did not seek retribution because it was a good distribution point of drugs. And they were banking on nobody in the community telling. Well, the clerk she ended up orchestrating the drug, whatever y'all do, and they got them out of there. So that's why it's important. It's not a police state. It's important that you protect the asset. You don't, which is the town of Princeville. You don't want it to be a good distribution point, which I had to look at the highways, but it probably is because you can go to the ocean. And you can go north. It's not far from 95, so you can go north of 95 and south down to Miami. That's why it's important. If you see anything, say something.
258 and is a good hub right now coming out of New Jersey. The big railroad. It stops in Franklin, Virginia. I talked to the police up there. It comes down how good Skyler Neck is bad.
The big
Skyler
bus we
Neck
did the
to
other week
Princeville.
from Halifax County, 697 bags, were headed to Scott Neck to be distributed.
To be dispersed.
The majority of that was headed here in Edgecombe County. We figured about at least half was coming to Edgecombe County. Best we could figure, based on the past sales and stuff, the use we figure out from them, about half of it was coming here. That's $150,000 in heroin to do things. What's the next town from Scotland Neck? Here. Princeville.
So they look at distribution points just like QVC
Just like, there you
or
go.
whatever.
It's a business.
Whatever, QVC, Monster, whatever, wherever there's a distribution point
Where can I drop
and
it off?
there's a minority town, they'll think, hey, they won't tell because they distrust the police. And then that's how you're become inundated with drugs. That's why I said this is a good relationship. The two towns that I worked at had good relationships with the sheriff department. This is a good relationship. So if you see something you don't want to tell them, because I know nobody, they're not gonna let them shoot up your house. But if you're just worried about it, tell me. I won't tell you names. Tell you, I'll say, hey, Major, we got an issue over here, such and such.
It's hard to shoot anything when you're down there in Edgecombe Road.
Yeah, and they gonna put them there, and you gotta do that to keep your community safe. It's not a police state, but you gotta keep it safe.
Ultimately, we want your information, we want your trust. We'll do the enforcement, we'll be your mouthpiece, we'll be the ones walking the street. All we want is you to point us in the right direction. And just because we don't get it in 10 minutes after you call, there might be a reason.
Don't mean they're not looking.
Because if you call me and say, this guy was such and such corner, we pull up, go, wait a minute. They don't know if they live in the neighborhood, if I go busting, they don't know where it comes from. Let's wait a little while, let's watch it. And all of a sudden, you see a guy pull out there, he gets stopped 5 blocks down the road. That's why. We didn't want to get him in front of your house because you may give us information.
Right.
We know that, we understand that concept. If you tell me that this guy's driving, pick on you, like an F-150 truck, but now, don't get in my neighborhood, no problem. No problem at all. We'll wait, we're patient. We're here 24/7. He pulls up, he gets stopped, we start the game. Just like you said, you can't search the car. We start working our case. And we start, if we have to, we'll start backtracking it far as we have to. The whole point is, ladies and gentlemen, trust, information. We're here to help you. Whatever we can do to help you, let us know. And like I said, we'll talk in any group, anywhere, pretty much any time. We're 24/7. If you got a group meets at midnight, give us a call. We'll be here at midnight, no problem. We're out.
It's gonna be an explosion of jobs with this raising of homes. I'm trying to push that because that's gonna start economic development. people gotta be safe to wanna work here, to wanna spend money here, and to want to live here. So you're gonna get the economic push, you're gonna get these guys protected.
It's even more important now because people are displaced. So if you see somebody at the house, they might not come check their house once a week. And they checked it last Saturday, and then here it is Tuesday, Wednesday, going back and check. So, well, last time I was there was last Saturday. I checked and the barn was okay, everything was in there. I come back on Tuesday, somebody broke in. Oh, well, Jerome saw a truck over there the other day, but didn't think nothing. Such and such saw them unloading. They said, well, maybe there was somebody's kin unloaded the barn, put it in the storage room. No, that was somebody stealing. And see, then now they got a week, 2 weeks time frame on us. Stuff's in the pawn shop, they go in, they go right back out. It's sold and gone over. We get it before.
Well, I know I'm not really in this full setting, but I will say this much. I was in the neighborhood after court today, and I went in the back side of Forest Haven, and I saw this Dodge Charger sitting on the side road, and before I could go around, it pulled off. Anyway, I followed, saw where it went, and got out of the vehicle. I said, okay, I know who you are, no problem. They said, oh, you just being nosy. I said, yep, I'm being nosy. Because I didn't know who you was, so therefore, I'm gonna
I
find
think I
out.
called you that day when I saw some guys at your house.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't know he was around the side of the house.
He sure did.
I said, hey, because somebody went down and opened the truck door. I said, hey, you got somebody? You got all this in your truck? He said, no, I said, well, I turned around, went back, and then he was on the other side of the house, and one of the guys, the workers, were at the house doing the work. I called him, hey, man, I'm like, yeah.
Tell it.
Good.
Tell it.
But you had the Womack, I think that, what y'all are trying to do are really good. Because the house that across the street from me, the family passed away, mother, father passed away. But they had someone to come in one night, and it was like 10:30, and I knew we watched the house because we got keys to the house. And, so the young lady had someone to come in to do some work there, and I didn't know who it was, I had never seen the truck. So of course I got my mess out of the car, and I'm going, you know, who are you? You know, so she had to call him to let him know, hey, you being watched, you better let her
That's
know who you
when
are.
you called the truck, the guy,
Sure
the
did.
uncle came to pick up some stuff.
Sure did.
And she called us and we had stopped him at the entrance of, you know, we had 4 cars out there. And he was like, I'm the uncle. My niece called me to come to the house and get the stuff. I'm not stealing that. And we had
But that gets out.
about, what's that, about 3-4 weeks ago? We
Yeah.
had a breaking it in progress. And I'm thinking, where's this house at? They said, it's on the corner. My first thing is, I called her, and I said, hey, look out your back window, see if you see a boy standing on the porch. And next thing you know, there go the guy running, there go the police running. Yeah, they're running across my So, get involved, call us, yes.
Very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Traffic check, you don't have any coming into Princeville anytime, in that area?
We can if you want us to.
Oh, no. Not in particular, but I one, well, y'all, who set the traffic checks up?
A lot of times the guys working at night, they'll check traffic and see how traffic's flowing, so it's kind of random. The last couple of weeks, we've been on the other side of the county because we've had a lot of problems with some known drug dealers doing some trafficking over there. So our guys are sitting over there at nighttime. Put it this way, if you want a checkpoint, and I say you do, don't. All you gotta do is call and say, look, I'd like to see some blue lights in my neighborhood and do a check. And here we come.
They love checking stations.
Our guys love this.
Love
What
checking
happens?
stations.
Guys with warrants, they'll come right up the street, I hope we don't check them out. A lot of times, 90% of what we catch at traffic checkpoints is guys with warrants, no license, no insurance,
Drunk drivers.
and drunk drivers. Because bless their heart, after all these years and all this mad, drunk drivers still stupid enough to drive.
We'll have checking stations, and we'll have 4 or 5 guys out doing checking stations, and we'll look back and we'll see that one car turn around. And all 5 want to go run behind the car at the same time. But they get amped for checking stations because we find guns, we find dope, we find all kinds of stuff. Like you said, warning people, we found one guy was wanted out of where? New York that time?
The last couple of months, we've had New York, we've had Georgia, we've had one out of Florida. Randomly on back roads and Edgecombe County just passing through together.
That's what they're moving their hubs.
I've been hearing a lot about, mention about gangs since you've been working the area for quite some time, is it really a gang problem or is it just a crime problem? Because I don't want people to be confused with the two. And you're talking about economic development. I just want to make sure that you clarify it, because if it is, it's one thing, but if it ain't, it don't need to be put out there, and you're trying to get people to not be afraid.
You're worried about something that don't have to worry about.
Right.
Some of the issues that we have, as far as the shooting, and B&Es and things like that, no. Some of the gangs, some of the shootings that we have are gang related, okay? They're, and everything that happens over in Princeville spills over to Tarboro. Same stuff in Tarboro spills over to East Tarboro, over to Princeville. And now we're getting a lot of influx from Rocky Mountain. But since Princeville is the way it is right now, we're not getting a lot of that, quote unquote, gang problems right now. But there is an issue with gangs here in Edgecombe County, in Eastern North Carolina, that we're dealing with.
Y'all understand Edgecombe County, but I'm talking about Princeville specifically.
Princeville, specifically, there are your little small 4 or 5 guys who make up a gang or say they're a gang. And then you have some guys who are validated blood members, validated Crip members. Where you've got handle on that with Tarboro Police Department. We know all the players. We just sent, like I said, we just sent 2 of them out of here for some shootings and robberies that we did. And we're working closely with Rocky Mountain and our task force with all the new evidence and things that we've coming up with. Some of the shootings that we had in Princeville earlier, the casings and the ballistics and the evidence is coming back to shootings in Rocky Mountain as well as Greenville. So we're getting all that tied in together.
But the majority of the time when you got gangs involved, kind of like he's asking, gangs are not going to bother your normal residents on
No.
specific cases could be
Right.
gang on gang.
Right. That's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to.
Gang
I think that's what they-
Right, that's what I was getting to.
Trying ask, make sure residents wouldn't worry.
No,
They're
you
not
don't
saying
have
this and saying,
you
hey,
don't,
okay,
yeah,
gang.
you don't have an influx of Bloods coming over shooting at an influx of Crips.
Right,
You
right,
don't
that's what
have-
right.
The things you see on TV.
Just like
But
you
have
said
the
earlier,
whole faction.
the same guys been beefing, well, guess what, they're probably beefing before they were gang members.
Right.
Now they just got a gang name.
Yeah.
It's just, they're gonna be at each other. And as far as the community, it's targeted, they're after each other. And that's why I said the information job, you know what's gonna happen, give us a call, we'll go with it. The worst thing happened, when I first started in 93 years ago, you be glad. The biggest thing, man, it was drive-bys. You had a drive-by in Rocky Mountain, and the guys from East Tarboro done, guess what? 64s can get lit up the traffic. Because all the guys in Rocky Mountain come back to Tarboro and get revenge. You know what we did? We said that check station up on 64, and they said, go back to Rocky Mountain. And you come over here, call Rocky Mountain, say, who you looking for? And they come and say, we're looking for so-and-so. Got it. We got more guys from Rocky Mountain, more guys from Tarboro, because they work both ways. And from Edgecombe County, because when they started going out to the county, doing the same thing. Lakeside, Princeville back in the day too, they would do drive-bys there. We said, halfway between here and Rocky Mountain, because they were going back and forth. Now, most of you who lived here long enough know and seen the police block the bridge off between Princeville and Tarboro. You let shooting happen in East Tarboro and suspect being in Princeville. First thing we did was shut that bridge down. He got to come through here sooner or later, we're gonna get it. And vice versa. Something happened in Princeville to East Tarboro called Torpedo. Just had a shooting in Princeville, suspect lives somewhere in Tarboro. You come across that bridge, Torpedo's in there, watch every car come by, wait for him. Next one you got it. So when we find out where they're coming from and where they're going, we're gonna set up on them and we can cut them off before we get there. And that's what I said, that's the targeted gang mentality. Or they go randomly hit somebody, your crime rate that you mentioned earlier, that's about double heroin and your drug dealers trying to get some cash. If they may say they're a gang member, but odds are if they're using that bad, they're not hiding the gangs. Gangs don't tolerate that kind of stuff for the most part. They are a business. The gang is a business.
Now, y'all will be willing, I know you said you agree with anybody, but y'all will be willing to go out to teach these citizens in Princeville how to set up community watch groups?
Yes.
And
This is the information that you know we'll do. You know, if somebody from Southern Terrace says, I'm willing to head it up, I got this group together, here we go to Southern Terrace. If they don't have a place to meet, here we come here. And if the principal gets up, says, we got community watch in this neighborhood here, you got about 10, 15 families, here we come. There's no set small numbers, no maximum number. But if you get too big, it's kind of hard to watch. So you got to have kind of a workable number. You got to have a good thing.
Was there a shooting in Southern Terrace not too long, a couple of weeks ago?
We heard shots fired. I talked to several different people there. I heard 3 shots. I heard 10 shots. It's a difference when someone says, I heard 5 and I heard 7. But I heard 3 over here and I heard 10. You stay on the right side of the street, you stay on the left side, you heard 10, you heard 3. Was that really shooting?
What they hear.
What they hear?
Well, that's
There was any sound between shooting, or maybe somebody shooting firecrackers or something like that.
And then, there's a neighborhood right behind Southern Terrace, which is Harris Hill. The Harrises do a lot of target practice all day and all night, and people hear it constantly. And we go back and we sit there and listen, don't see anything, don't see any shell casings, then we wait about 20 minutes, then they reload, then you hear it pop, all right, send somebody over there and check.
Someone's target practice over there.
They over there, you know, he's hunting a lot, he got a bunch of dogs, he does a lot of target practice, and people think, oh, they should be back to Southern Terrace, and there goes 20 of our cars over there, and it's the guy in Harris Hill.
That's where a lot of that game problem started at, we just shoot up in the air.
Random, just
Things like
intimidation
that, about
tactics.
3 or 4 years ago. That's how y'all got tied into going over there constantly controlling the area, correct?
That's what started, you had a lot of guys walking around and doing intimidating, they get a gun, they're gonna show it off, they want to fire it off, I don't know why, but they don't realize what goes up, it's gonna come down. It may not come down in their neighborhood, but it's gonna come down somewhere within a mile or 2 and do some damage. Because, I mean, used to be a couple times a year, we get a report, car being hit through the roof, hood, the fender, house being hit. Luckily, we ain't had that lately. For a while there, we were getting right ready with a hood or something. Matter of fact, we had one of our patrol cars years ago at the courthouse, New Year's Eve. Everybody shoots up New Year's Eve. Back then, we got hit at the courthouse, so we knew the courthouse probably got some too. But I mean, what goes up, it's gonna come down. But like I said, this time, we'll go ahead and break down small groups. Those just got here, we'll need one-on-one, let's know what we had and what we did. If anybody has any questions, we have a notebook here. Name, address, and phone number. All we look for is where you at, so we know how to get your group set up and reach out to you. And this is the first minute. What we did is we're gonna start with Princeville. We're gonna follow you to Part C1, maybe Maxville area. We're gonna start getting these. We're gonna go out and be proactive. If no one wants to do it, we'll move on to the next town. But I think we will have Princeville wide open for us. Anybody have any questions? Come on up. We'll sit and talk to you.
What kind of paper do my time on now?
Even if you don't have any questions pertaining to the community watch, you have any other issues that you just want to talk about in general, as far as crime or anything like that, or any issues you may have, if you want to bring to our attention, you can also do that as well.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it all regarding how they go into the cemetery.
That's for Princeville.
Any cemetery.
Now, this is a town ordinance, no.
Do we have a town?
Well, no, because we don't own it, we don't own the cemetery.
Now, if you go in the middle of the night, I think Tarboro does, I think it's actually posted on their sign in Tarboro. And don't ask me how I remember that. I remember somehow starting to call one, I remember seeing the sign, it's dark, I think it is. But now, if you go to cemetery one, we'll go check it anyway. But now, part of the ordinance, town manager says not, because they don't own it, probably not. But I know some do, because some folks go to visit their deceased after hours, like y'all work stuff.
So I own my own cemetery, so I can post a notice.
If you own your own cemetery, private property, it's not supposed to be. If you own it, the only issue you might have is you got other family members coming in that, that's their family. I don't know how big the cemetery is, it's all family. You
It's
might-
not on family.
Okay.
Now,